So our topic for today is all about simplifying radicals. Okay, so let's have example number 1. How to simplify the square root of 12. Okay, so in simplifying square root of 12, think two numbers wherein when you multiply, the result is 12. But make sure that one of the two number is a perfect square. Okay, so the two numbers is square. We have square root of if the two number are 4 times 3. So when you multiply 4 times 3, that will be 12, isn't it? And also one of the two numbers is a perfect square. So we have 4. 4 is a perfect square. So if we simplify that one, that will be square root of 4 is what? 2. Then since a 3 is not a perfect square, it remains inside the radical sign. So that will be 3. So that will the answer will be 2 square root of 3. Next, let's have example number 2. So still same process. Think two number, the product is 32, but remember that the one of the two number is a perfect square. So we have the two numbers with a product of 32 is 16 times 2. Okay, not point, that is stating as a, a multiplication, not a point. Okay, it is state that it's a multiplication. So say that will be 16 times 2. So when you multiply, that will be 32. So based on uh, our mm, okay, based on our rules a while ago, that the two numbers should have a one of them is a perfect square. 16 is a perfect square. So therefore, so we have 16 square root of 16 is 4. Then we have, since 2 is not a perfect square, therefore it remains inside of the radical. So that will be square root of 2. So that is now the simplified form of square root of 32 for square root of 2. Next, let's have this example number 3. So we have square root of 45. Same rule. Okay, think two number. The product is 45 and the one of the two number is a perfect square. So the factors of 45 is 9 times 5. So when you multiply 9 times 5 is 45, and also 9 is a perfect square and 5 is not a perfect square. So it satisfies our rules a while ago. So we have, what is the square root of 9? That will be 3. And since 5 is not a perfect square, it remains inside of the radical sign. So that will be what? 3 square root of 5. Next, let's have example number 4. Same rule. Okay, so think two number. The product is 84. So the two number are square root of 4 times 21. Okay, so as you can see, 4 is a perfect square and 21 is not, and the product is 84. So therefore, square root of 4 is 2 and 21 is not a perfect square, therefore it will be remain inside of the radical sign. So that is the simplified form of square root of 84. 4. So 2 square root of 21. Okay, let's have the last example. We have square root of 312. So still same process. Think to number, the result is think to number and the product is 312. So the two number are 4 times 78. Okay, so we have, since a 4 is a perfect square, it will go outside of the radical. So square root of 4 is 2, and 78 is not a perfect square, therefore it remains inside of the radical. So we have 70 square root of 78. So that is the simplified form of square root of 312 to square root of 78. Okay, can you follow? Okay, let's have the another set of simplifying a radical. Okay, so in simplifying this kind of uh, radicals, radical terms, okay, just only reducing the exponent inside with respect to the radicals that is given. So since it is a square, so we factorize the x raised to 7 with respect to square. So we have just like this one. So since it is let's factor the x raised to 7, that will be x raised to 2, x raised to 2, then x raised to 2 multiplied by x raised to 1. Okay, so if you multiply this one, the result will be x raised to 7. Remember that when you're multiplying an exponent, yes, and a term that have exponent, the exponent will be add. So that will be 2 plus 2 plus 2, that will be 6 plus 1, that will be 7. So the answer will be, so our factor is similar with this one, x raised to 7. Next. Okay, so let's separate this one. So we have square root of x raised to 2 multiplied by square root of x raised to 2. So we have x raised to 2, and we have square root of x, or x raised to 1. Then let's cancel now because the radical sign have a value of 1/2. So when you multiply that one, that will be x raised x. If we convert the radical sign, that is 1/2, then x raised to 1. So when you multiply that one, 2 times 1, that will be 2 divided by 2, that is still, the result will be x raised to 1, or we cancel the radical sign. So the answer will be x multiplied by, cancel this one, so this will be x, then cancel this one, that will be x, and since we cannot uh, since x raised to 1, the x raised to 1 still remain on the radical. So this will be radical sign the square root of x raised to 1. Or simply, if we multiply this one, the result will be x times x, that will be x squared, times x, that will be x raised to 3. Okay, so this will be 1, 1, 1. So if you multiply their exponent, the result will be x raised to 3 square root of x. So that is now the simplified form of uh, square root of x raised to 7. Next, let's have example number 2. Okay, same process. We need to factor the radicand with respect to the square root. Okay, so we have square root of, okay, so what is the, since 40 is not a perfect square, therefore think to number, the result, to think to number, the result is 40. And always, just like we done a while ago on the first set of the simply in first set that we simplified, think to number, uh, the one of the two number will be a perfect square. So the factor of 40 is 4 times 10. So if you multiply, the result will be what? 40, and 4 is a perfect square. Next, we have uh, factor this one. We have with respect to the square, so we have square root, I should say. We have x square times x square. So when you multiply this one, the result would be x raised to 4. Next one we have, let's factor out this one with respect to the with respect to the square root. So we have y raised to 2, y raised to 2, y raised to 2 multiplied by y raised to 2. So since we have 2, 4, 6, 8, so there's only one. We remove the square. Okay, so that is now the factor of y raised to 9. Okay, so let's separate this one to be able to see the things that we need to cancel. So 4 square root of 4, just only separating. So we have square root of 10 square root of x square. So we have square root of x raised to 2, then y square root of square root of y square, have square root of y square, square root of y square, then square root of y square, and we have the last square root of y. Okay, so we need now to cancel the following. So we have square root of 4 is 2. So we remove now the radical sign. Then square root of 10, since 10 is not a perfect square, it remains square root of 10. Then we need to cancel this one. So we have x, cancel this one. So this will be x, cancel this one. This will be y, cancel this one. So that will be y, cancel y, cancel y. And since it not satisfy the since y raised to 1 cannot cannot remove from the radical, it still remain square root of y. Okay, so we have 2. Okay, so we have 2. I just only arranging all the those have no radical sign. So we have x, x, y, 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 y. Okay, so then followed by 10. So square root of 10, square root of y. So if you multiply this one, the result will be 2 So x times x, that will be x square, y times y, that will be y square, times y, that is y cube, times y, that will be y raised to 4, square root of, okay, we multiply this one, that will be 10 times y, that will be 10y. So that is now the, okay, that is the simplified form of 40, square root of 40 x raised to 4 y raised to 9. Okay, so let's have example number 3. Okay, same process. Since it is changed from square root, now we will move now to cube root. Okay, so we simplify this with respect to the cube root. Okay, so we have cube root of, okay, so a cube, no need to see factor, yes, no need to factor this one because it's already satisfy the cube root. Then b11, so we need to uh, factor this one with respect to cube root, I should say. So we have b cube, sorry, that will be multiplied by b cube multiplied by b square. Okay, so if we multiply this one, the result will be b11. So we have b cube times b cube, that will be b6 or b raised to 6, then multiplied by b cube, that will be b raised to 9, and multiplied by v square, that will be b raised to 11. So we satisfy this b11. So we have to separate this one. So we have cube root of a cube multiplied by cube root of b cube multiplied by cube root of b cube multiplied by cube root of b cube and multiplied by cube root of b square. Okay, so we need now to cancel this one. So the answer will be what? A multiplied by, we cancel this one, that will be b, cancel this one, multiplied by b again, multiply this one, so cancel, the result will be b. And since he cannot satisfy the cube root, so therefore it remains cube root of b square. So we have multiply this one, a, b times b times b, that will be b cube, then copy this one, cube root of b square. Okay, can you follow? Okay, may we have the example number 4. Okay, I will use another page to be able to uh, that you will see how to simplify this one, because it is a, I think it creates a long solution. So we have, let's simplify. So we have cube root of 64 a raised to 7, then b raised to 22. Okay, so as we do, okay, we need to factor this one with respect to the cube root. So 64, okay, 64, okay, We have square root of, okay, 64 multiplied by a raised to 3 multiplied by a raised to 3 multiplied by a raised to 1. So when you multiply this one, the result will be a raised to 7. So we have a times a cube raised to a cube, that will be result to a raised to 6 times a raised to 1, that will result to a raised to 7. Okay, next one we have a raised to b raised to 22. So let's factor this one with respect to cube or cube root. We have b raised to cube, b raised to cube, b raised to cube, b raised to cube, 3, 6, 9, 12, b raised to cube, 18, b raised to cube, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So we have b raised to cube 21, then we have b raised to 1. Okay, so we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 plus 1, that will be 22. So when you multiply this one, the result will be b raised to 22. Okay, so let's separate this one. Okay, we have square root or cube root of, sorry, that will be cube. Cube root of 64. We have cube root of a cube, then 3, a cube root of a cube, then cube root of b cube, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have cube root of b cube multiplied by cube root of b cube, cube root of b cube, b cube, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, cube root of b cube, cube root of b cube, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the last one, we have cube root of b raised to 1. Okay, so put a multiplication there. Okay, so we need to cancel this one. Okay, since 64 is a perfect cube, okay, how do we know that it's a perfect cube? Okay, so let's have this one. So 64, that will be 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, so if multiply 4 times 4, that will be 16 times 4, that will be 64. So therefore, okay, so therefore that will be what? Cube root of 64 is 4 multiplied by, so it will be cancel a, cancel, it will be a, cancel, that will be b, cancel, that will be b, b cancel, that will be b, b, that will be b. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have another v. So since we cancel already this one, and still since a cube root of b cannot with respect to cube, that is still remain in the cube root. So that will be 3 uh, cube root of b. Then there is still remaining here. Well, left, most of it should be here. So we have here a raised to 1. We forgot the a is raised to 1. Okay, so we have, okay, so that is will be a raised to 1. So we have multiplied by, sorry, that will be cube root of 3 raised to 1. Okay, then we need to multiply this one, so the answer will be 4. Then a times a, that will be a raised to 2, a raised to 2. Then b times b times b times b times b times b times b. So the answer will be what? Okay, 1. So we have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. That will be 7. So that will be b raised to 7. Then we multiply these two. So we have cube root of b times cube root of a. That will result to cube root of a b. Or so that is now the simplified form of the cube root of 64a raised to 7 times b raised to 22. Okay. Next one, we have the last one. So this the answer is 4 raised to 2 b raised to 7 and cube root of a multiplied by b. Okay, let's have the last example. Okay, still the same process. Okay, so we have to factor all the radicand with respect to the fifth root. Okay, so we have fifth root, we have 32 x raised to 5, then x raised to 3. Multiply. So when you multiply this one, the result will be x raised to 8. Then we have multiplied by, factor this one, y raised to 5, then y. So when you multiply this one, that will be y raised to 6. Then factor this one. So we have, since a z ready satisfy with respect to the fifth root, so we just only writing it z raised to 5. Okay, so we have to separate this one. So we have fifth root of 32, fifth root of x raised to 5 multiplied by fifth root of x raised to 3, then multiplied by fifth root of y, and the last one raised to 5, I should say. Then 5 raised to y, then multiplied by z raised fifth root of z raised to 5. So we need to cancel those. So we have fifth root of 32 is a perfect fifth root. So the fifth root of 32 is 2. How do we do that? Okay, so when you say fifth root of 32, it multiply 2 times. So we have 5 times the 2. So we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So if you multiply this one 2 times 2, that will be 4. Times 2, that will be 8. 8 times 2, that will be 16 times 2, that will be 32. So therefore, fifth root of 32 is 2. So we need to cancel this one. It satisfies the fifth root. So we have x. So still it does satisfy the fifth root. Therefore, it will be what? Uh, fifth root of x cubed. Then cancel this one, multiplied by y. Sorry. Okay, so that will be, okay, so we have uh, uh, so still it does satisfy the fifth root, therefore it will remain fifth root of, okay, fifth root of y, then multiplied by, cancel this one, it remain, it satisfy the fifth root, therefore it will be removed from the radical sign, it will be z. Okay, so let's arrange by term, combine like terms. So we have 2 multiplied by x. I just only arranging those who have no a radical sign. So we have multiplied by y, so this one, and multiplied by z. Then we have multiplied by those have a fifth root. We have fifth root of x cubed and fifth root of y. Then let's multiply. So do we have 2 times x times y times z, that will be 2x y z. Then multiplied by these two. So x cubed, fifth root of x cubed and fifth root of y, it will written as this one, fifth root of x cubed y. Okay, sorry, you cannot see it. Okay, so this one. So I just only arranging. So we have, so we multiply this one, 2 times x times y times z, that will be 2xy z. Then I multiply the x cube times fifth root of x cube times fifth root of y. This the product will be fifth root of x cube multiplied by y. So that is the simplified form of fifth root of 32 x raised to 8 y raised to 6 and z raised to 5. Okay, thank you for watching.
For more videos on mathematics, please don't forget to subscribe.